Frogballs' insinuation is that Yu Sung-jun all of a sudden had to start paying taxes in both China and America, which is false. So after finding some extra information about this situation, I feel the need to set the record straight on some needlessly fake information. A lot of it comes from the media, and apparently I can't say they're journalists. So, first rumor, which is the biggest, is the tax benefit thing. Now, the biggest video I saw on YouTube about the tax lie was by this frogman who says, Yu Sung-jun wants residence in Korea. Due to a tax law adjustment, Yu Sung-jun would lose half his income for paying taxes in China and America, and in Korea he wouldn't get taxed on overseas earnings. So, despite your cocky tone, none of that is true, and these 3 million people will be never the wiser. So the special date Frogballs mentions for 2014 is when FATCA was in effect, he applied for the military.
도대체 왜 그랬을까? 이 부분이 참 궁금합니다. 너무나도 잘 맞아 떨어져가지고.
호호, 우물안개구리시네요. FATCA is an agreement that allows the U.S. to receive information about overseas citizens' accounts. Frogballs' insinuation is that Yu Sung-jun all of a sudden had to start paying taxes in both China and America, which is false. Since 1970, overseas citizens have been paying taxes with the FBAR, a foreign bank account reporting document. So as for not getting taxed on overseas earnings, the Korean law states that residents are subject to tax on worldwide income. Short-term residents, which would be people who haven't lived here for over 5 years, are taxed on foreign source income transferred to Korea or paid from Korea. So he would pay taxes in Korea and the US and China if he still makes money in China. At this point in life, I shouldn't be surprised when people with loudest opinions are usually the least informed, but here's my surprise face.
Well...
Basically, what the news reported is this. If Yu Sung-jun has a temporary visa and makes any money in Korea, he will only pay a maximum of 25% in taxes. They then say, even though the max tax rate is 50% in the US, he wouldn't have to pay anything to the US because of the double tax avoidance treaty. Unfortunately, they have a clear misunderstanding of the double tax avoidance treaty. Also, there is no 50% tax rate in the US. And there hasn't been one that high in 36 years. The highest income tax right now is 37. So in reality, he pays 25% tax to Korea, and in the US, he pays the difference between the US and the Korean tax. Now, the media also says that he wants a residence visa because he'll pay lower taxes in Korea. That's also inaccurate and oversimplified. And even international tax experts said no one could verify that. Considering the number of tax deductions both countries have, the fluctuation of tax bracket numbers of almost every year, and the fact that he's still undergoing the lawsuit for an indefinite amount of time, it's highly unlikely Yu Sung-jun would be able to effectively determine which country is more beneficial. Unless he's an evil genius. Another really confusing thing Frogman and the media says, why doesn't he just apply for a tourist visa? Well, there's a simple reason. He wants residency, not a vacation.
근데 우리 그가 한국에서 살기 싫은데
It's not really your choice, is it? If he's not going to do anything illegal, and hasn't previously, then he can't be banned. Also, he wouldn't need a tourist visa in the first place because US citizens can come here freely for 90 days. Except him, apparently. He could also get residence with investment like I mentioned in my first video. Next, people are angry that he did what he did, despite being an ambassador for the Gukbangbu Haebyongdae. Problem is, though, he wasn't an ambassador. In fact, that position doesn't exist. Next! So my claims from the first video about many other people avoiding conscription were verified by the same people trying to ban Yu Sung-jun. The Pyeongmucheong, they said there's an average of 4,000 people who avoid conscription each year by giving up their Korean citizenship. However, they are not banned from getting tourist visas, unlike Yu Sung-jun. Also, when they are 38 years old, even though they avoided conscription, they may get an F4 visa as well. Yu Sung-jun was 38 when he first applied, and he's 42 now. So if you're going to treat people unequally under the law, well, your country's kind of fucked then. Another example of him being treated unjustly comes from the Supreme Court's judgment itself. Even if he committed a crime, they say,
외국인이 대한민국에서 범죄를 저지르고 등록 이상의 형을 선고받아 강제 퇴거 명령을 하는 경우에도 원칙적으로 5년간의 입국 금지 제한을 정하고 있을 뿐이다.
Even criminals are only banned for 5 years. The real criminals, I think, would be the media for getting all this shit wrong. I mean, I don't even like this guy, and yet because of all these lies, you put him in a position where it's so easy to defend him. It's basically a witch hunt at this point. They even tried to make a big deal about him swearing in a video, except there was only audio, no video, and there were several voices talking at the same time. Like, even if it was him, are you trying to tell me that none of you fucks ever say 시발새끼? Could you be more of a hypocrite? 진정성이 없다고. Since when does swearing mean you're not sincere? You don't even know if it was him in the first place. You're just assuming it because you're fucking emotional. This is one reason fake news is bad. Because when people find out the truth, suddenly, otherwise unlikable people have a sympathetic angle. If you want to see my initial reaction to this mess, you can check out the video up here.